Hello everyone, welcome back to the Java programming course. I am Dr. Amit Batra. In today's session, we will start a very important topic, Introduction to Java Servlets and Servlet architecture. Servlets are the foundation of Java-based web applications. So understanding this topic is essential before moving to enterprise applications. Before we begin, let us quickly revise the previous lecture. In the last session, we discussed integrating multi-threading with database operations using JDBC. We learned how multiple threads can safely access a database, why each thread must have its own connection, and how transaction management ensures data consistency. This concept is very important because servlets internally work in a multi-threaded environment. Let me start today's topic with a practical question. Suppose a college website has a login page. When a user enters a username and password and clicks submit, the system must verify the credentials and then redirect the user either to a dashboard or to an error page. Now the question is which Java technology handles this request on the server side? The answer is Java Servlets. By the end of this session, students will be able to understand what a Java servlet is, explain servlet architecture, identify the role of the servlet container, and understand how servlets process client requests and generate responses. In today's session, we will cover the definition of Java servlets, their features, why servlets were introduced, the role of the servlet container, types of servlets, and finally the complete servlet architecture. A servlet is a Java class that runs on a web server inside a servlet container and handles HTTP requests and responses. Servlets are part of the Java Enterprise Edition or Jakarta Enterprise Edition standard. They are used to dynamically generate responses such as HTML pages, JSON data, or XML. In simple words, servlets act as a bridge between the client and the database or business logic. Java Servlet work on the server side. They efficiently handle complex client requests, generate dynamic responses, and provide much better performance compared to older technologies like CGI. Servlets are also highly scalable, which makes them suitable for enterprise level web applications. Before servlets, web applications were built using CGI scripts. CGI created a new process for every request, which was slow and consumed a lot of memory. This resulted in poor scalability. Servlets solve this problem by using one servlet instance with multiple threads. They are faster, platform independent, and highly scalable. A servlet container, also called a web container, is responsible for managing servlets. It loads and initializes servlets, maps URLs to servlets, creates request and response objects, and calls servlet lifecycle methods. It also manages threads, sessions, security, database resources, and supports hot deployment. Some commonly used servlet containers are Apache Tomcat, Jetty, Glassfish, or Pyra, Wildfly, or JBoss, WebSphere, and WebLogic. Among these, Apache Tomcat is the most widely used container for learning and deployment. There are mainly two types of servlets. First is the generic servlet, which is protocol independent and can support protocols like HTTP, FTP, and SMTP. It provides basic lifecycle methods such as init and destroy. Second is the HTTP servlet, which is protocol dependent and specifically designed for HTTP requests. It provides commonly used methods like do get and do post. Servlet architecture consists of several components. The client, usually a browser, sends an HTTP request. The web server receives this request and forwards it to the servlet container. The servlet container creates HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response objects. The servlet processes the request and generates a response, which is then sent back to the client. This diagram visually represents servlet architecture. The client sends a request, the web server forwards it to the servlet container, the servlet processes the request using request and response objects, and finally the response is sent back to the client. All of this happens efficiently in a multi-threaded environment. To summarize, Java servlets are server-side programs used to handle HTTP requests and generate dynamic web responses. They run inside a servlet container like Tomcat, which manages their lifecycle. Servlets are fast, portable, and efficient because they use multi-threading and Java's platform independence. With today's session, we have achieved the learning outcomes related to understanding servlets and servlet architecture. This knowledge will help you build real-world web applications using Java. In the next lecture, we will study servlet lifecycle and key APIs in detail. Now we will be solving a case-based cum scenario-based programming problem. Problem is in front of us. An online system uses Java servlets to manage user authentication and exam submissions. In the first A part, we need to design a servlet-based architecture for this system. Then we have to evaluate this servlet lifecycle and request response handling in the B part. Then we have to critically analyze scalability and security considerations. To solve the to run this servlet program, we'll be using Eclipse IDE, Eclipse Integrated Development Environment. So uh, we can either install Eclipse IDE for Java developers, or we can also directly install Eclipse IDE for Enterprise Edition. So the steps are configuration is different. If we install Eclipse IDE for Java developers, then configuration is different. Otherwise, if you are directly installing the Java Eclipse IDE for Java Enterprise Edition, then some steps are saved. So simply you have to download these and you have to install. Now, first of all, we will need a web container or web server. For that, we'll be using Apache Tomcat as the required prerequisite software. So simply you have to open the browser and you have to go to tomcat.apache.org, tomcat.apache.org. Then simply you have to go here, version this Tomcat 11.0.15. Then you have to press this download button. After this, you have to click on this core and Windows Service Installer, this Windows Service Installer. Simply you have to download this and execute the Windows Service Installer, and then through the wizard steps, you can simply clicking on next and next. You can simply install the Apache Tomcat web server. Clear? After that, then, if you have installed, as I have earlier told you, there are two versions of Eclipse IDE. One is Eclipse IDE for Java developers, one is Eclipse IDE for Java Enterprise Edition. If you are installing Eclipse IDE for Java Enterprise Edition, then some steps are saved. So, but if you have installed Eclipse IDE for Java developers, in that case, you have to do some extra steps. Click on, simply you have to click on uh, help menu, this help menu, and then you have to click on install new software, and then you have to select here from you have to drop from the drop down menu, you have to select this option. You have to select this option, and uh, it will take some time, few seconds. It will take few seconds. You have to go to here and you have to click this checkbox web.xml comma java double e. Here you can see you have to additionally install java double e if you have downloaded and installed the Eclipse IDE for Java developer. If you have installed the Eclipse IDE for Java Enterprise Edition, then these steps are saved. Clear? Simply you have to click on finish because I have already installed this software. That I am using Eclipse IDE for Java developers. So already I have already finished this step, so no need to repeat it. Clear? In the next few lectures, I will not be repeating these steps. These are the one step, uh, one time steps. Clear? After that, now you have to click on this open perspective, and then you have to click on Java EEE, then open. Clear? And then you have to click on this file menu, new menu item, and then dynamic web project. Clear? As you can see here. So open perspective, Java doubly open. Then you have to click on file, new dynamic web project. Then I have already created this program. So I have named this as Servlet example. Servlet example. So I will be giving here project name as Servlet example, clear? And here new runtime. If you are not seeing this option, Apache Tomcat version 11.0, then you have to click on this new button, new runtime button. Then you have to click on this Apache and you have to select this 11 version. Then finish. Automatically now Apache Tomcat version 11.1, 11.0 will be there. Here dynamic web module version you have to select instead of 6.1, you have to select 6.0, and here remaining setting will remain same and you have to click simply on finish. Okay, no, this project will automatically created. The name of the project is servlet example. Clear? Now everything has been set up by us. One more thing, if you should see here Tomcat server. If you are not seeing here, simply you have to go to window, show view, and then servers. Clear? Then servers, automatically here servers will appear. Clear? And here instead of this, if you are not able to see this Tomcat version 11.0, you will be seeing here click to create a new server. You have to click on that link here. Link will be here. Create a new server. You have to click on that, and then uh, just a minute. I am telling you. So here you will see the click this link. If you are not able to see this Tomcat version 11.0 in the servers tab, then you have to click here. You will definitely see a link here. Click this link to create a new server. You have to click on that. Then you have to a window will open there. You have to select Apache and Tomcat version 11 server. Then you have to click finish. Then you will be able to see this Tomcat version 11.0. Clear? Now everything is set up by us. Now one more thing, because in the initial setup, when you are able to see this Tomcat version 11.0, then you have to double click here and you will see here port number 8080 where you are seeing 8081. So you have to change the port here. Tomcat admin port should be changed from 8080 to 8081 because that may be used by another application. Similarly, HTTP slash 1.1 port number should be 8082. So all these are the settings. All configurations have been done by us. Now we are able to create our program, servlet program. So clear here. Now always remember, uh, you will see first this structure. Clear? When you create this project name servlet example, you will see this folder structure. Simply you have to click on Java resources. You will see this src main Java, and this is the package. You already know we create a user defined package, so to avoid the name conflicts, you already know. So simply you have to click on src slash main slash Java, right click. You have to right click on src main Java and you have to click on new package. Simply you have to give here name as com.example. As soon as you finish, click on finish button, this com.example package will appear here. Clear? After that, always remember the servlets file will be within this package and the HTML files will be within this web app. When you expand this src folder, in the web app folder, HTML files will be there. So here we have to create two HTML files as per the desired has been asked in our problem statement. Exam.html, login.html. Simply now how to create this servlet file and HTML file? Simply you have to click on this right click on this com.example package. Simply you have to go to menu item, then servlet, and you have to give here the name of the class name. You have to give the login servlet. Class name will be login servlet. You have to click finish. Automatically, this login servlet.java file will be added. Similarly, this second file you can add. Clear? And simply, yeah, if you want to add this HTML file within the web app folder, Again, you have to right click on web app folder, new, and then HTML file. New menu item and HTML file. Simply you have to give here name as exam or login. Then you have to click finish. Okay. Then exam.html and login.html will be created. Okay. Now, now we are going to solve our problem. First of all, I have written this code for login servlet.java. Clear? Quickly we go through this code line by line. Clear? Now see. So login servlet provides the authentication logic. This servlet validates the user login and manages the session. First line is line number one, package com.example. This servlet belongs to the com.example. Using packages helps in organizing code and avoiding class name conflicts. Then you are having some import statements. Uh, we can expand these import statements by clicking here. So these are the import statements. Line number 2 to line number 5. All these are import statements. So first is java.io.star that is used for input output operations like print writer. Second is jakarta.servlet. This line number 3 jakarta.servlet.star. This is used for core servlet classes. Then jakarta.servlet.http.star. This is used for HTTP specific classes such as HTTP servlet, HTTP session. Then we are having this web servlet. This is used for annotation based URL mapping. Since we are using Tomcat 11, we will use the Jakarta. We will use this Jakarta. We will not be using Java.servlet. We will be using Jakarta, remember. Then we are having this annotation at the rate web servlet, line number 6. Clear? So this annotation maps the servlet to the URL slash login. Any HTTP request sent to slash login will be handled by this servlet. Clear? So this removes the need for web.xml. Then we are having the line number 7. Line number 7, public class login servlet. So our servlet class extends HTTP servlet, which allows it to handle HTTP requests such as get and post. Then we are having line number 12, private static final long serial version UID equal to 1L. This is used for serialization and version control. So it prevents compatibility issues when the servlet is transferred or stored. Then we are having do get method here, line number 15. Line number 15 do get method. Let me hide this uh, folder structure so that you can see the code clearly. Just a minute. Clear? I have hidden the folder structure so that you can see the code clearly. Clear? Now line number 15 do get method, and you are calling here within the do get method, you are calling do post in line number 19. So this method handles the HTTP get request. Instead of duplicating logic, it forwards the request to do post. Now you are having the do post method here, line number 23. Line number 23, do post method. This method processes HTTP post requests which are used to submit login data securely. Then you are having line number 26, 27, and these lines read the username and password entered in login.html file. Now, the parameters name must match the input field names in the HTML form. Now, you are having line number 30. If student dot equals username, here we perform a simple authentication check. The credentials are hard-coded only for demonstration and learning purposes. Now, it is not recommended for real applications. Now, we are having line number 32. HTTP session equal to request dot get session. Here, session dot set attribute, line number 33, user comma username. So if login is successful, we create an HTTP session. The session stores the user information and helps maintain login state across pages. Now we are having response dot send redirect, line number 35. After successful login, the user is redirected to the exam page, for which we have built the exam.html file. So it uses the client side redirection. Response.send content type line number 38 and print line number 39 print writer. If login fails, we generate an HTML response dynamically and show an error message. So error message will be invalid login credentials, line number 42. Clear? This displays an error message and provides a link to retry login. When the user opens login.html and submits credentials, the request goes to /login. The servlet validates the input, creates a session, if valid, and redirects to exam.html. If invalid, an error message is displayed. This servlet demonstrates how Java servlets handle authentication using HTTP sessions and annotation-based URL mapping. Then we are having second servlet file. Let me see where is the folder structure. We have closed the folder structure, but let us see where it is. Hmm. We can search on internet where how to open folder structure, how to open folder structures in Eclipse IDE. So through the Project Explorer view, these are on the menu bar. Go to the window show view. So we have to go to window. This is the window menu, window show view, and then folder structure, Project Explorer. So this is our code servlet example. We are having login servlet. I have explained the each and every line of code of login servlet.java. Now we open this submit exam servlet.java file. Here, first line is as usual package com.example. So this servlet belongs to com.example package. Packages help in organizing code and avoiding naming conflicts. Then we are having as usual import statements. I will click on this button so that all import statements are visible to you. So first is java.io.star. Java.io.star is used for print writer. Jakarta.servlet.star is used for core servlet functionality. Jakarta.servlet.http.star is used for HTTP specific features like sessions. Then web servlet is used for annotation based servlet mapping. So we are using Jakarta EE Enterprise Edition packages which are required for Tomcat version 11 and above. Then we are having annotation at the rate web servlet. Again, we will be hiding this structure. No, we'll be hiding by closing this. Now, we are having the annotation at the rate web servlet /exam. So this annotation maps the servlet to the URL /exam. Any request sent to /exam will be handled by the servlet. So there is no need of web.xml. Now we are having a class declaration, line number 8, this class, submit exam servlet class. This servlet extends HTTP servlet to handle HTTP requests such as get and post. Then we are having this again serial version UID. This is used for serialization and ensures version compatibility. Then we are having doGet method in line number 15. So line number 15 to 18. If the servlet is accessed using get, the request is forwarded to do post to avoid code duplication. So this is a common servlet practice. Then we are having do post method here, line number 20. This method handles post requests sent from the exam submission form. Then we are having line number 23, HTTP session. So this retrieves the existing session without creating a new one. It ensures that only logged in users can submit the exam. Now, this code is used for this code is used for line number 25, used for unauthorized access handling. If no session exists, the user is redirected back to the login page. This prevents unauthorized exam submission. Clear? Now, now we will move to line number 30, line number 30, 31. These lines retrieve the answers selected by the student from the exam form. Then we are having line number 33, int score 0, and line number 34, 35. So each correct answer increases the score by 1. This logic evaluates the exam responses. Clear? And then we have to generate the response. So line number 37, response.set content type, text/HTML, print writer. So the servlet dynamically generates an HTML response showing the exam result. So now we move to this line number 41. The student score is displayed directly on the browser. Then session.invalidate statement 46 line number. The session is destroyed after submission to prevent reattempts and ensures exam integrity. After the student submits the exam, the request goes to /exam. The servlet checks the session, evaluates the answers, displays the result, and ends the session. So the key concept demonstrated here are session management, security via session validation, servlet request response handling, annotation based URL mapping, Jakarta Enterprise Edition compatibility. Session management is used to track a user across multiple HTTP requests. After successful login, a session is created. The session stores user information. The same session is checked during exam submission. Why it is important? Because HTTP is stateless. Sessions allow the server to remember logged in users. In simple words, you can say sessions help the server remember who the user is. Clear? Also, security is achieved via session validation. That is, session validation ensures that only authenticated users can access protected resources. So we have used this code for this code. This piece of code is used for uh, preventing unauthorized access, also for stopping users from submitting exams without login. If the user is not logged in, access is denied. Servlet request response handling. Servlets follow the request response model of web communication. So here browser sends a request, that is login or exam submission. Servlet processes the request. Servlet sends a response, that is HTML output or redirect. So the methods involved are do get and do post we have seen here. In simple words, we can say that the servlet acts as a middleman between the browser and the server logic. Also, as far as annotation-based URL mapping is concerned, annotation-based URL mapping replaces the need for web.xml configuration. We have used here at the rate web servlet annotation. We can see here there is no need of web.xml file because of this annotation. Why this annotation is better? Better because it provides cleaner code, easier to manage, less configuration is required. In simpler words, we can say the servlet URL is defined directly inside the Java class. Also, we are having Jakarta Enterprise Edition compatibility. That is, Jakarta Enterprise Edition is the newer version of Java Java Enterprise Edition with updated packages names. So, as you can see here, we this import statement Jakarta root servlet etc. So, it is required for Tomcat 11 and above. So, Java X.Servlet is no longer supported in newer servers. In simpler words, we can say using Jakarta Enterprise Edition ensures our application works with modern servers. This project demonstrates how Java servlets use sessions, security checks, and request response handling with modern Jakarta Enterprise Edition standards. Now, let me explain. Now we again go to Window menu, Show View, and Project Explorer. Now we are having these files. We have two servlets have been understood by us. That is login servlet.java and submits exam servlet. Now we will understanding the HTML files. HTML files. So first of all, we'll be explaining the code of login.html file. Login.html file. So the first line is line number one. Doc type HTML. This line tells the browser that the document is written in HTML5. It ensures the modern browser compatibility. Then we are having HTML tag. Line number two. The HTML tag is the root element that contains the entire web page. Then we are having this head section, line number 3 to 5. So the head section contains metadata. Here the title defines the text. Title tag defines the text shown on the browser tab. Then we are having body tag. So the body contains all the visible content displayed to the user. Then we are having heading H2 student login. This heading clearly indicates that this is the student login page. Then we are having this form tag, line number 9, form action equal to login. So this is the most important line. This form sends user input to the server when the login button is clicked. So key points are action is equal to login. What does it mean? Action is equal to login. It means sending the request to slash login. Slash login is mapped to the login servlet. Method is post. Method is equal to post here. Method is equal to post. So what does it mean? It is a secure method for sending credentials. Then we are having line number 10, username and password. Here, username type is equal to text. Type is equal to text means normal text input. Name is equal to username means used by the servlet to read value. Then required. Required means it prevents empty submission. Required means it prevents empty submission. The name attribute must match the parameter name in the servlet. Similarly, for the password field, this is the password field, line number 11. Password is masked here. It is sent securely using post, and it is a required field again. It is a required field. Submit. Then we are having submit button in line number 12. This button submits the form data to the login servlet. When the user enters the username and password and clicks login, the browser sends a post request to slash login. So the login servlet then processes this request. This login page collects user credentials and sends them securely to the login servlet for authentication. Now the next HTML file exam.html. Uh, Remaining tags are same. So now we will jump to form tag. Form action equal to exam, line number 10. Method equal to post. So this is action equal to exam means it points to the submits exam servlet which is mapped to slash exam. Method equal to post means it sends the form data securely. The browser will send the user's answer to the servlet for evaluation. So when the student clicks submit, the form data is sent as a post request to slash exam servlet. Clear? So line number 12, these are the questions one by one. First question is Java is dash language. Then we are having line number 13, 14. That is input tag. So input type is equal to radio means it allows only one selection per question. Name is equal to Q1 means name is equal to Q1 means it is used in the servlet to identify the answer. Value is equal to object. Value is equal to object means it is used to check correctness in the submit exam servlet. The first question asks about Java and only one radio button can be selected. The servlet will read this as request.get parameter Q1. Now the question number 2 is servlet runs on line number 16. Second question. Second question is servlet runs on. So this is similar to question 1. Name is equal to Q2. Q2 means name is equal to Q2 is read by the servlet to determine if the answer is correct. So this question tests if the student knows where servlets run. Again, only one option can be selected. Then we are having a submit button, line number 20. When the student clicks the button, the form data for both questions is sent back to the servlet for evaluation. So the student selects answers and clicks submit. The browser sends a post request to slash exam. The submit exam servlet receives the answers, calculates the score, and returns the result page. This exam page collects the student's answers and sends them to the submit exam servlet for processing. Now see, now we'll be running this program. First of all, we have to right click on login.html. Right click on login.html, run on server. You have to select this Tomcat version, finish button. Now you can see the uh, username. You have to enter student and password is exam123. So we log in, and now we can answer. Java is a dash language, that is, it is a object-oriented language. Servlet runs on server. Then submit exam. So exam result is score is 2 by 2 because both questions are correct. If you click on this logout button, then you log out and again you go to the login page. Clear? So we have successfully solved this question, design a servlet-based architecture for this system, and the answers to B and C part are left as an exercise for you. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next section.